You've just witnessed the most explosive, jaw-dropping betrayal in Braxton history, and it's only the beginning. Towanda's world crumbled. Tamar risked everything, and the truth came out hotter than anyone could imagine. Now it's your turn to weigh in. Who do you stand with? Team Tamar exposing the lies, or Team Towanda surviving heartbreak and reclaiming herself? Don't scroll past this. Every second you wait, the conversation moves, the receipts get dissected, and you miss the chance to be part of the firestorm. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Share your reaction. Tell us if you've ever had to reveal a betrayal that shook your world. Like this video if you're ready to stand with women who choose truth over lies. Hit subscribe so you never miss a single shocking twist in the Braxton saga, because trust me, it's far from over. Turn on notifications. Be the first to see the next leaked revelation. Every click, every comment, every share adds to the movement. Hashtag break the silence. Hashtag Braxton rebuild. Hashtag truth over tradition. Don't just watch history unfold. Participate. Speak up. Support the sisters who dared to shatter silence and face the storm head-on. Miss this and you'll regret it, because the drama, the secrets, and the chaos, it's not going anywhere. And neither is the truth. Now, type in the comments. Choose your side. Be loud, be bold, be part of the Braxton legacy unfolding in real time. The studio lights were bright, but nothing could illuminate the storm brewing in the Braxton family's latest production meeting. Cameras rolled, capturing every smile, every forced laugh. But Tamar Braxton sat still, eyes sharp, tension radiating like a live wire. Towanda, completely unaware, laughed at something Trina said. Her hands wrapped around her coffee cup, completely oblivious to the hurricane about to hit. But Tamar didn't flinch. She waited. Then, with a voice that sliced through the room, she asked the words no one thought would ever come out loud. Do you want to keep lying to these cameras? Or should I tell the truth about what your husband's really been doing? The room froze. Towanda's laughter caught in her throat. Her eyes widened in disbelief. Trina shifted uncomfortably. Tony looked down, and Evelyn muttered under her breath, something indistinct, as if trying to shrink out of the moment. But Tamar.com and measured, pulled a thick envelope from her designer bag. I've tried to hold this for months, she said, her voice steady but her eyes fierce. I begged you to face it. I prayed, I cried, but you kept smiling at him while he was lying, cheating, and humiliating you behind your back. Towanda's hands shook as she reached for the envelope. Her fingers trembled over the stack of papers. Screenshots, text messages, voicemails, hotel receipts, proof of betrayal so extensive it could collapse a marriage in minutes. This isn't even his number, she whispered, denial quivering in her voice. Tamar didn't hesitate. Girl, I checked it. That's his burner, registered under his cousin's name. You think I'd bring this without verifying it first? And then the meltdown began. Towanda threw the envelope across the table, the papers fluttering like shattered dreams. She screamed, the words echoing off the walls. Why would you do this here? On camera, in front of everyone? Tamar leaned back, unflinching. Because I gave you 6 months, 6 months to face it. 6 months of prayers, patience, and pleading. You smiled while he humiliated you, and I am not the villain for telling the truth. Every camera in the room captured the chaos. Towanda's tears streamed down her face. Trina whispered something to Tony. Evelyn's jaw tightened. The producers froze, unsure whether to stop filming or let the drama unfold. But Tamar wasn't here to perform. She was here to reveal a truth that had been simmering in the shadows for far too long, and the world would soon see just how explosive it was. The envelope wasn't just receipts. It was a roadmap of deception. Towanda's husband had been cheating not with one woman, but two. One, embedded in the family's inner circle under the guise of a business consultant. The other, a socialite in Atlanta, flitting through private dinners and hotel stays, all while Towanda remained oblivious. The evidence was meticulous. Timestamps, voicemails, hotel check-ins, DM screenshots, all pointing to betrayal on a staggering scale. Towanda's hands shook as she flipped through the pages, disbelief and horror mingling on her face. At first, she denied it. No, this isn't real. This isn't him. Tamar's eyes pierced her. I confirmed it. I confronted the mistress. She gave me the receipts herself. You didn't want to see it. Fine, but I can't hold it anymore. 6 months? And you smiled while he lied in your face. The tension cracked like a storm breaking. Towanda stood abruptly, knocking papers off the table. I trusted you, she screamed. How could you do this to me here? Now, Tamar didn't flinch. I didn't do this to hurt you. I did this to save you from believing a lie any longer than necessary. The room descended into chaos. Towanda collapsed back into her chair, sobbing uncontrollably. Her microphone picked up every gasping word, capturing the rawest, most gut-wrenching reality television meltdown ever recorded. Tamar remained poised, her hands calm, her eyes unrelenting. She laid out the entire story, The multiple affairs, the cover-ups, the manipulations, and the months of lies. Every detail was more shocking than the last dot outside. The internet erupted within minutes. Social media exploded with speculation. Clips leaked, and fans began analyzing every past episode for clues. People dug up old Instagram posts, LinkedIn profiles, and even nightclub appearances. Names were cross-referenced, locations verified. Towanda's husband was exposed in ways he couldn't hide from. The scandal wasn't contained. It went viral before the studio doors had even closed. Tamar's decision to go public had been methodical. Months earlier, she confronted the Atlanta-based mistress, a woman named Charisse M., who confessed everything and provided receipts. Tamar had sat on the information, hoping Towanda would see the signs. She confronted Towanda privately, who begged her to stay silent. Tamar agreed for a while, but when Towanda posted vacation photos with her husband, smiling, pretending everything was normal, Tamar's patience snapped. "You're out here smiling in his arms while he's in another woman's bed?" she told producers off camera. "I will not watch another sister be destroyed in silence while I carry everyone else's lies." The confrontation on set wasn't just a personal explosion, it became a cultural earthquake. Within hours, hashtags trended. Hashtag Braxton Showdown. Hashtag Team TAMAR. Hashtag Team TOWANDA. Hashtag Break the Silence. Viral clips showed Towanda's tears, Tamar's cold calm, and the producers' stunned faces. Insider leaks suggested the affair had lasted over a year, with the mistress often attending events disguised as a business consultant. Fans scrutinized every past scene. Awkward glances, canceled dinners, rushed family vacations. The evidence painted a picture of deception so detailed it could only be described as cinematic betrayal. Towanda's husband had been caught on audio flirting with the second woman, unknowingly recorded. Tamar played it for her sister. Every word, every smirk, every manipulation. "See, I didn't trap him." His own words tell the story, Tamar said. Towanda's eyes went wide with disbelief, horror, and heartbreak. The betrayal wasn't theoretical, it was audible, undeniable. Undeniable proof of months of lies. Social media chaos spiraled. Fans debated, dissected, and divided. Some blamed Tamar for going public. Others celebrated her courage. Tweets flew. Tamar didn't destroy Tanda's marriage, he did. She just refused to bury the truth. Within 24 hours, Tamar's Instagram Live, where she explained her motives and detailed the months of evidence collection, reached over 1.4 million viewers. She spoke raw, emotional, unfiltered truths about loyalty, betrayal, and family responsibility. Towanda, meanwhile, went silent. She deactivated comments, skipped interviews, canceled appearances. Her disappearance only fueled speculation. VH1 producers faced an impossible decision: air the footage or cut it to protect the family. Legal teams debated potential lawsuits, but the story had already escaped. The internet was alive, and the scandal had taken a life of its own. Even Evelyn Braxton, who had allegedly known about the affair for months, came under fire. Fans accused her of enabling and covering for her son. Tamar's tweet cut through the excuses. Sometimes silence isn't protection, it's participation. Trina stopped responding to group messages. Tony canceled promotional shoots, and the Braxton family chat went silent. Every layer of the family's public and private life was under scrutiny. Towanda's emotional breakdown, captured on camera, became the defining moment of the day. She stormed off set into a waiting black SUV, microphone still attached, production whispers following her every step. Tamar stood still, heartbroken but unwavering. She hadn't come to destroy her sister. She had come to free her from a lie. The cameras, the production team, the crew, they all watched the fallout, knowing the next 24 hours would be historic. The internet erupted further when insider sources revealed the second mistress, Charisse M., had confessed in private to Tamar, confirming the details, the deception, and the manipulation. She admitted she hadn't known Towanda was married at first, adding layers of heartbreak to an already devastating story. Tamar didn't respond publicly, but her Instagram Live confirmed the truth. The woman had come clean, and the evidence was overwhelming. Towanda's husband, meanwhile, went public in private messages, begging Tamar not to destroy him. "I don't know what you think you saw, but please don't ruin what's left," he said, shaking, clearly panicked. Tamar's response, a clip posted to Instagram: "You made your mess. I'm just showing her the mirror." Fans exploded with reactions, supporting Tamar's courage, criticizing the husband, and debating Towanda's silence. And then came the cliffhanger that would keep audiences desperate for more. Whispers of the affair stretching far beyond a year. Evelyn allegedly knowing and protecting him. Charisse M. confirming multiple and the Braxton family's legacy teetering on the edge. Would Towanda recover? Would Tamar be ostracized for her honesty? Would the second woman go public? And most importantly, would the cameras capture the truth that had already shattered everything? The story was far from over. The scandal had only just begun. The day after the confrontation, the Braxton set was eerily quiet. Towanda hadn't shown up. Her chair remained empty, her microphone untouched. The evidence of Tamar's bombshell still lingering in the air like smoke from a wildfire. Rumors circulated faster than cameras could capture. Fans speculated endlessly about her whereabouts, her emotional state, and her next move. Some suggested she might quit the show entirely. Others insisted she would return, ready to face the storm head-on. Behind closed doors, producers scrambled to assess the legal implications. VH1 executives debated whether to air the footage, knowing the public already had eyes on every leaked clip. But Tamar's mission was complete. She had told the truth. Now, everything else was out of her hands. Towanda's silence wasn't denial. It was mourning. For the first time, the soft-spoken sister faced the reality that her marriage, the very foundation she had clung to, had been built on deception. No glamour, no cameras, no scripted confessionals, just heartbreak. On her first Instagram story back, she appeared tear-streaked, hair pulled back, no makeup to hide the exhaustion and pain. Her voice trembled. "I thought love meant forgiveness. I thought pretending meant peace. I was wrong. I'm not okay, but I'm not in denial anymore." Fans poured support into the comment sections. Some called for accountability. Others praised her bravery. The world understood. This wasn't just a scandal. It was a woman reclaiming herself from the wreckage of betrayal. Meanwhile, Tamar didn't retreat. She leaned into the narrative with deliberate precision. Another Instagram live, another raw confession. She held up the voicemail from Towanda's husband, in which he admitted guilt, his voice shaky and panicked, begging her to stay silent. Tamar explained to her viewers, "I didn't do this to destroy her. I did it to free her. I watched her smile while he lied, and I refused to keep holding the pieces of his betrayal for her." The live session exploded. Millions watched as Tamar broke down her months of private evidence collection, the confrontations with the mistress Charisse M., and the painstaking process of trying to protect her sister while navigating family politics. Social media blew up again. Clips from the live were shared thousands of times. Tweets analyzed every word, every facial expression. Some called Tamar ruthless. Others called her heroic. A viral clip showed her holding up Charisse M.'s receipts, her voice shaking but firm. "See this? I didn't trap him. I just gave her the truth. He refused to #spread like wildfire. #team TAMAR. #team TOWANDA. #Braxton breakdown. #break the silence." Online forums dissected every past episode for clues to the long-hidden affair, fueling speculation and fan conspiracies. Towanda's husband disappeared from social media. His accounts went dark. Private investigators allegedly confirmed sightings with the mistress in Atlanta, Miami, and Chicago. Each trip documented meticulously through timestamps and DMS. Meanwhile, Towanda's Instagram remained largely quiet, a careful silence that spoke louder than words. When she did appear online, she shared short affirmations about strength, survival, and self-respect. Every post subtly reinforced the message. The betrayal was real, but she was reclaiming her narrative. Fans shifted their energy from outrage at Tamar to empathy for Towanda, applauding her resilience. Back on set, the tension between Tamar and Towanda remained palpable. Their first reunion on camera was subdued, a stark contrast to the explosive confrontation that had gone viral. No shouting, no dramatic interruptions, just two sisters navigating the aftermath of betrayal. Towanda asked the question that had haunted her since the revelation. "Why didn't you just let me believe the lie?" Tamar's answer was simple but devastating: "Because I lived in one too long. I know how much it costs, and I love you too much to watch you pay that price again." Fans were captivated. The quiet, intimate moment between the sisters became trending content across platforms. YouTube reaction videos, Instagram posts, and TikTok clips dissected every pause, every glance, every tear. Media outlets debated whether this marked the beginning of a new era of Braxton transparency. Was the family breaking apart? Or was this a raw, painful step toward healing? Towanda's public journey wasn't linear. Behind the scenes, she consulted lawyers, evaluated her marriage, and considered the possibility of divorce. Every step of the process was scrutinized by fans. While Tamar remained a public advocate for truth, Towanda navigated her personal pain with caution, careful not to let social media overshadow her reality. When she officially filed for legal separation, it was a quiet but powerful statement. No long press release, no public drama, just a woman choosing herself over deception. Fans applauded. The narrative was shifting. Towanda wasn't a victim. She was a survivor. The second mistress, Charisse M., also re-entered the public conversation. She granted a second, unblurred, uncensored interview to a major entertainment blog. In it, she detailed how Towanda's husband manipulated both of them, promising separation while maintaining lies, keeping both women under his control. "I never wanted to hurt anyone," she admitted. "I thought I loved him, but I now realize I was part of his manipulation. I was humiliated, used, and lied to." The confession added a new layer to the scandal, proving that Towanda's husband had been engaged in a systematic pattern of deception far beyond the scope of initial reports. Evelyn Braxton's response came later. Her first public acknowledgement of her role: "My daughter's pain is my pain," she said, voice cracking during an interview. "I thought I was protecting her from public shame. I realize now silence wasn't the way. I apologize for not doing more when I first saw the signs." Tamar, ever unflinching, tweeted, "You protected him more than her. That's the problem." Fans sided with Tamar, praising her insistence on accountability and condemning Evelyn's delayed action. The conversation ignited debates on loyalty, protection, and complicity within families. As the dust settled, Towanda began the slow process of rebuilding. Therapy sessions, unfiltered Instagram posts, affirmations, and quiet public appearances painted a picture of resilience. For the first time, fans saw a woman reclaiming her voice, her autonomy, and herself. She openly acknowledged the red flags she had ignored for years, the denial she had clung to, and the shame she carried to protect an image. The honesty resonated widely, with thousands of women relating to her journey of awakening and survival. Tamar continued to amplify stories of truth-telling and survival, using her platform not for profit but for advocacy. Her podcast episodes featured survivors of infidelity, family betrayal, and emotional gaslighting. She created a safe space for those forced into silence, showing that truth, no matter how painful, could liberate. Her boldness inspired fans, creating a digital movement around honesty, accountability, and self-preservation. Even the Braxton family dynamic began to shift. Trina reportedly avoided responding to group messages. Tony canceled scheduled promotional shoots, and Evelyn continued to navigate public scrutiny. Towanda's husband became a figure of public disdain, facing backlash, canceled business deals, and social media erasure. The ripple effects were immense, demonstrating that betrayal, when exposed, carries consequences far beyond the private sphere. The VH1 reunion special, initially a source of anxiety, became a historic moment. Tamar and Towanda sat side by side, unpacking betrayal, sisterhood, and accountability. There was no screaming, no theatrics, just honesty. "I wasn't trying to hurt you," Tamar said, tears in her eyes. "I wanted to save you from the lies." Towanda's reply was equally raw. "You broke me, but I needed to be broken. I was living a lie and it was killing me quietly." The scene shattered expectations of reality TV drama, offering a masterclass in emotional truth and sisterhood. In the aftermath, Towanda's legal separation, her return to public appearances, and Tamar's relentless advocacy marked a new era for the Braxton legacy. No longer about image or performance, the family's story was now about survival, resilience, and accountability. Social media reactions evolved from outrage to understanding, fans celebrating Towanda's strength, and Tamar's courage. Online forums debated ethics, loyalty, and morality. But one message became universal: silence protects liars, not victims. The scandal became a cultural conversation, inspiring women worldwide to speak up, demand truth, and reject the burden of carrying others' deception. Tamar and Towanda's story wasn't just entertainment, it was education, empowerment, and emotional liberation. Their journey reminded fans that family loyalty doesn't mean enabling lies, that silence is complicity, and that honesty, no matter how painful, can save lives even months later. Whispers from insiders suggested Towanda's husband's betrayal extended beyond initial reports, that the pattern of deception was a long-term strategy, and that Evelyn's early knowledge of the affair complicated the narrative even further. Tamar and Towanda, however, were undeterred. They continued their public journey with purpose, to shine a light on truth, to validate pain, and to celebrate resilience. The final chapter in this part of the saga came when Towanda fully embraced her autonomy. No ring on her finger, no forced smiles, no silent suffering. Instead, she shared affirmations, therapy updates, and moments of joy with fans, demonstrating the power of self-love after betrayal. Tamar reposted, offered support, and kept the conversation alive, turning a family scandal into a story of empowerment. Fans joined in, sharing their own experiences, their own revelations, creating a digital community committed to breaking cycles of silence and betrayal. The Braxton legacy, forever altered, now stands as a testament to courage, truth, and the raw power of exposing lies. The scandal, the meltdowns, the leaked messages, and the viral clips, all of it was more than entertainment. It was a blueprint for confronting betrayal, reclaiming one's voice, and redefining family loyalty. And yet, even as the cameras stopped rolling, the internet didn't stop watching. Fans continued to analyze every glance, every story, every post. Conversations continued, hashtags trended, and the movement sparked by Tamar's courage and Towanda's resilience shows no sign of slowing. This wasn't just a scandal, it was a revolution in truth, exposure, and survival. Towanda's journey of heartbreak, revelation, and reclamation became a symbol. You can survive betrayal, reclaim your narrative, and rebuild stronger than before. Tamar's relentless exposure of the truth proved that standing for honesty, even when painful, reshapes legacies and sets new standards for family accountability. And the world watched, captivated, inspired, and changed forever. The story isn't over. Every post, every clip, every confession keeps the fire alive. Towanda is no longer the woman who hid behind denial. Tamar is no longer the sister who silently protected secrets. Together, they've transformed pain into purpose, scandal into empowerment, and betrayal into a blueprint for resilience. The internet waits for the next move. Fans are ready. The sisters are evolving, and the Braxton legacy has entered a new, uncharted chapter, one defined by truth, empowerment, and the raw courage to break the silence once and for all. You've seen it. All the betrayal, the tears, the receipts, the voicemails, the social media chaos, and now the question is, what would you do if you were in Towanda's shoes? Would you stay silent to protect someone else's lies, or would you stand up, risk it all, and reveal the truth? This isn't just a story about reality TV drama, it's a wake-up call. A raw, unfiltered reminder that silence protects liars, not the ones being hurt. If you feel the shock, the heartbreak, or the fury, just like the millions watching worldwide, you cannot stay quiet now. Hit that like button because every tap shows the power of supporting truth. Comment below with your story, share the betrayal, the secrets, the lies you've had to carry alone, because together we turn silence into survival. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss the next explosive reveal. This saga isn't over, and every twist, meltdown, and confession is something you'll want to witness live. Every second you wait, the world moves faster. Fans are picking sides, the internet is erupting, and this is your chance to be part of the conversation, part of the movement. Choose truth, choose courage, choose to break the silence. Don't scroll past this, don't miss this, because stories like Tamar and Towanda's don't just happen, they change lives. Drop a comment, smash that like button, and subscribe now. Join Team Tamar, Team Towanda, hashtag break the silence, and be part of the revolution where truth wins over deception. Your voice matters, and the time to speak up is now.